This is a Jmix exclusive.
Hello all, it's Jmix here, and I want to do a quick video regarding the car which just went up for sale, the BMW that Tupac was allegedly shot in. I've had a lot of people inbox me and message me and ask me if I've heard of this and whether I can verify it's real. So I wanted to take a quick few minutes and go ahead and go over what I know and exactly what my opinion is on it. The first question that people ask is, if it's evidence in a murder, wouldn't it be held at an impound lot, or would it not be for private sale? And I just want to let you know that typical police policy is, when it comes to vehicles and crimes, that once the police are done processing the vehicle for evidence, usually what happens is they give it back to its owner. So, once the CSI team has gone through it, they've taken pictures of it, and they've gathered all the evidence, it is released to its owner. It's not something that is uncommon, that's for sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description. This is being sold by Moments in Time for $1.5 million. As you can see in the video that I'm showing you right now, if you do a VIN scan on this car, it does trace back to Death Row Records. So the probability of this being the actual car that Tupac was shot in is actually pretty high and likely. If you look at this picture right here, this shows the scan, and this corresponding picture right here does show the VIN number. Some people have said that that is a bullet in the VIN number. That's not a bullet. That's just the rivet that they use to hold that to the inside door. And the bottom picture is actually from the engine block. One of the things that kind of unsettled me is, if you look at historical cars that have been used in historical murders and shootings, they typically don't restore them. This car has been restored, and if you look, you can see them actually in the process of restoring this car. Now, you're not going to find these pictures in Moments in Time, but I was able to secure some pictures of it actually being restored, and that's what you're seeing right here. There had been a rumor that this car was destroyed. I know there was a gentleman that worked at a dealership that did custom rims, and they were told that the car was destroyed. But if you look at these pictures, you can clearly see that it was impounded, and I believe that it was bought, I'm speculating here, but I believe it was bought by a private collector early on in the 90s. So this car, it has about 90,000 miles on it. It has been in the hands of several different people since the shooting of Tupac Shakur. I think that it greatly decreases the value that they are restoring it, and I just don't understand why they would. If you're going to buy the car that Tupac was shot in, it would only make sense to keep the bullet holes in it. But once again, I just wanted to do this quick video to let you guys know that, number one, it is very highly likely that this is the car that Tupac was shot in. The VINs do match back to Death Row Records. Now, personally, I'm not aware of how many BMWs they owned at the time of the shooting, but I am aware that that was not Suge Knight's car per se, as entitled to him. The story goes that that car was delivered to him right before this happened, and Suge Knight, in my opinion, did a lot of moves to hide money and assets out of his name. So running that through his record company, having Death Row Records own the car, would make perfect sense. Once again, here's a picture of the VIN. So it does show, when you plug this car up to a code reader, it does come back to Death Row Records. So if anybody's got an extra $1.5 million laying around, a ridiculously high price for a death car that has been restored. In my opinion, this should have been sent to a museum or bought by a private collector. I think the biggest mistake that they did make was the fact that they restored this car. But if you look, the rims do look similar, so it could be the rims that were restored in the 90s. But like I said before, the dealership that actually repaired those rims said that the owner claimed to them that the BMW was destroyed. I'm just being forthright with you. I'm not trying to muddle up the facts involving this car. I'm not trying to cause any confusion when it comes to this car. I'm just giving you the conflicting reports that I've had. So I'm about 80% sure that this is the car that Tupac was riding in the night that he was shot. Now, this car is not up for auction. It is a set price of $1.5 million, and Moments in Time has been pretty good about verifying some of their things, although The bullet dented chain, which I did a video on, and I'll also put a link in the description for you, they were off on that. So if you want to gamble $1.5 million to buy a restored, quote, murder car, by all means, go ahead and check it out. There's going to be a link in the description, like I said. Here's the pictures of the car. And I want everybody to keep it locked because I will be back with more content as soon as possible. One love, everybody.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?